Well, folks, I've got to apologize. Yesterday we presented this video and then we found out that the audio was muted. So we just want to repost this. Sorry for any inconvenience, but thanks for the support.
And Lasana, when you're editing videos for Daddy, try to do a proper job now, please.
Beautiful, beautiful afternoon, eh?
Sanamoy, I have never seen so many cars up here as today. Since my folks passed away and the old house was demolished, I think it was back in 2019, right? But it's good to see the place populated again. And it's all because of Haley's 7th birthday, you know? I know you came up here with the expectation that your children would have shown their faces at Lyndon's and Kim's invitation.
Yes, of course.
And Haley really wanted them to be there. But are you surprised? Really?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
I was expecting this. Yes. I was expecting this. Especially after doing that live this morning. Yeah.
But when you came, you were able to greet them. They were out in the yard, that is Sydney and Sadie, yeah?
Yes.
Right, very good. It must have touched your heart and given you a joy to have been able to hail out to them. I understand that you asked to see Suri and you were told that she's asleep. But frankly, if you are allowed to see Suri within the time that I am here, I would not put up this video. But if, when we are ready to leave, there's no such response, then the discretion will be mine. Now, it is very sad for children, and I make this without any reservation, this statement. It is sad for children to grow up without being in touch with their cousins. I know that in my own family here in Cora, there was a problem between my mother and a particular relative. And for years, I would pass my cousin, who was much older than me, on the street. I knew him to be my cousin, and I simply nodded my head. And he did the same with a little smirk on his face. I don't know what it represented then, but I could feel the emotion would have been, hey, what nonsense is this? I'm passing my cousin. But that was all fueled because of a difference that was shared. In your case, these are your children whom you are not allowed to embrace or to see or to have private moments with because of the distrust of your mate, so to speak, right? But I really want to get into your heart and into your mind to know exactly what is happening with you now.
Well, it is very heart-rending. It hurts a lot. I love my children dearly. I am a father that would have made mistakes, and it has always been my desire, ever since coming out from St. Anne's, to make amends with my children. I was doing really, really well. I'll tell you this. When we had a little problem with Sydney, right? This was a couple of months before having to leave the home, right? we were having some problems with Sydney. She was not eating well. She did not want to go to school. And I took her to Dr. Sunarine. And Dr. Sunarine said, all this girl needs is hugs and kisses. That is what we are prescribing for her. Hugs and kisses. Daddy, you need to give her hugs and kisses. And let me tell you something. I began to do that. As soon as we came out of the doctor's office, it was Sydney and I alone, right? Melissa stayed home to do something, most likely, right? And I gave her a hug and a kiss. And every single day, every morning, every evening I pick up from school, in the night time, hugs and kisses. And I want to tell you something. Many times I would have been in the next room, and Sydney will just open that door and come in and say, Daddy, I come for my medication. Oh, how I wish I could give my daughter that medication right now. I enjoy administering it. And now, I could no longer administer that medication to my daughter.
But do you think that all is lost?
Well, one of the things that I made sure to mention to Sydney when I saw her this afternoon is, darling, I love you. And she looked at me and she said, Daddy, I love you too. And that meant the world to me. That meant the world to me. It was a spontaneous thing, right? It was spontaneous.
Wait.
Daddy, that's song. Sometimes that is confused. Yeah. Right? So, yes. And Sadie was right there also. I told her, you know, Sadie, I love you. And she said, I love you too, Daddy. Sorry I didn't get to see my girl Suri. But maybe that is for good. For whatever reason, maybe it's for good. Right? I will tell you this. You said whether I get to see them or not. If I don't get to see them, then you're going to post this. I would like you to post it nevertheless. Even if I do get to see them. And what we will do is the correct thing. Is we will make a follow-up to this video stating that I did indeed get to see the kids. Now, to be honest with y'all, it is a very ticklish situation. It is a very ticklish situation. Certain things I would not be going in depth with, right? Because there is importance for a certain level of privacy at the moment, right? All right? I am always very careful as to what I say and when I say it. And believe you me, when I say something, I believe that the timing is right. Right? And what I would have disclosed this morning, I felt moved, and I am using my intuition. Something I have to thank God for is knowing when to speak or when to announce something. Right? So,
well, I will talk as a grandfather, right? I'm your daddy, but I'm these children's grandfather, and mommy is grandmother. And it breaks mommy's heart to think, you know, that mommy comes from a background where there is that great sense of unity. Mommy comes from that background where there's that great sense of unity. And she is, all of them in that family, they relate to people. They relate to their family. They care about the offspring of others, the cousins and whatnot. And you can come from San Fernando and trace that love right back to Icacos. Right back to Icacos. And that's one of the things that won my heart when I met your mother on these very grounds here. She came here to my 21st birthday party, and we have been since 1971 together. There's an old house here. It came down in 2019, and I tell you, Mommy has been a blessing in my life. And Mommy's projection is unity in family. So I know what is happening in your case, and the estrangement from this small group of children of 3 and Lyndon's to the back there is a very painful thing for her. Fortunately, she has the personality where she overrides things and will not get swamped. But deep in her heart, I know. I, on the other hand, perhaps this happens with males, I tend to shirk off the disappointment, maybe to blanket, maybe to blanket because I hate being hurt. I hate to see mommy hurt. I hate to see you hurt. And I know, I have never had this experience that you're going through among my own siblings. My brothers, I have 6 brothers, had 6 brothers. There's only 1 left alive now, and 2 sisters out of 4. But even if there was a dispute or an upset moment, family life is precious. And you said something in your live this morning that I think is vital. These 2 households, and yours in particular, they need each other. And how long this estrangement is going to work? Or will continue? It's not working, but how long will it continue? Right? I can't say more on it for less there be security breaches. But it is important. But son, I will tell you, you have to learn to, and I think you've done a great job of it. You learn to live with the disappointment. Your girls are not going to stay small forever. They're beginning to mature. And then there's going to be a new reckoning when they mature. So we hope that sometime in the future, something will evolve. I will risk saying that you're not going to see your children this evening. But if you do, I will be very pleased. But I can say at this point, the vibes that are coming out from the home, it's the vibes that I have been seeing here every time I come to Cora. There's a hidden, they are thrown into...
Low battery.
Yes. So
low
Sana,
battery.
yeah, I want to tell you that, you keep trusting in the Lord to work things out. You keep smiling. There are others who need your positivity.
Yes, sir.
And my friend, all the best.
Thank you, sir. All right, so guys, hope all you enjoy this. We out.